Snopsy here with the dual Berettas, primed and ready on Fletcher, sitting back on Fountain to support the contact about to be coming through. The duelists can do a lot of work here, but the jiggle is great. Now, on Fletcher, up behind the Fountain, not spotted yet, swings out for one, but traded immediately as the entries come through.
Yeah, and take a look at this. Max is holding the flank. We've got Meztal in the server instead of Fessor. So we'll keep our eyes on that. I'll try and look into why we've got a substitution. But currently it's a 4-on-2. Surreal holding, but Scenari deals with him. Meztal immediately will trade, and there's simply too many quantities of endpoint players for BNE to contend with. And that's the
comes out and takes down Rigon immediately. That's going to cause rotations now over to B to reinforce that site. Snopsy's looking forward, and he has a bit of a read on this. Catches Mighty Max trying to play around that edge there, and you can see he wanted to go through when the reload was needed, but caught by Meztal. A bit of a bait and switch set up there with the rifles in mid. Keeps Endpoint in the advantage for BNE, but he is going to find so many backs turned in a moment. On Fletcher walking around the corner, spots out the first, doesn't see the rest, but he's found MHL, and that's a big target. Let's start looking for him now. They have to deal with him in the back lines, but he's still finding numbers. Meztal is here, and one Fletcher drops him too. The trade comes through from Heavy God, but now he has to pull off the 1v2. The bomb has to be recollected, and he has no idea where these remaining players are.
Yes, gets a bit dicey. 20 seconds left as well. Timing never on your side. And you just get absolutely clotheslined by the AWP of G.
Yes, fantastic from one Fletcher. Pretty much single-handedly wins that round. And now look, he's getting aggressive in mid again. Look at this. Gets one and the follow-up. They get cleaned up as they try and force their way through the smoke, meeting nothing but lead. And even getting on the reload, finds another. Surreal does trade it, but the damage is done. Meztal and Surreal now have to try and piece this back together. That's a nice clean shot, but not ready for Scenario to be that close. And with this round barely beginning, looks like it's already over.
The map, you're not looking over your shoulder, you're not checking your flank. That's why Synopsys felt free to activate. I really like the position of the double AWPs as well from BNE.
Try and overwhelm, which will likely be the objective here. Fletcher adopts the flames as the utility comes on through, just to slow them down further. Even has a follow-up smoke. Going to see Surreal on the jiggle, but they are just going to commit through. A missed shot allows MHL to come on through, and Fletcher falls, and it's only the one for GXX off the back of the USP. They are able to overwhelm. Rigon now with the secondary AWP, tries to go for the wall bang and doesn't quite connect. That looked like it was on the mark, but not going to do the damage. Snopsy does find one with a HE back though, and this retake is on.
They're going to try it. Max getting around the corner, but Rigon domes him with the USP, but Meztal in dark can be such a nuisance. That's why Rigon starts to lead with utility, trying to displace this sniper off the mark. 2-on-2, but the pressure, it's all on BNE, and Meztal gets smoked off. Surreal. Now a lot of pressure on his shoulders to swing over. Rigon's just sticking the defuse, and Synopsy on the swivel locks it in for BNE. And Endpoint, they want to try again, but they got to get past GXX.
Well, the flashbang's perfect. That's allowed them in. That smoke lands at the perfect time as well. But there's two players with rifles on the side that you have to get past. Rigon, he's able to find one, but MHL is doubled up with that Tech 9. Trey comes on through, and two of these players are incredibly low. Flames aren't gonna go onto the bomb plant. Mighty Max has found a space that he can plant it, so they are gonna get that one down. Retake now has to come on through. And with two players so incredibly low for Endpoint, it's gonna be difficult for them to hold on to this. Playing very passive as well. Two players in towards dark, one outside of B main. It is planted for both of them. They realize that they just have no space here. Trying to flash forward, trying to take a fight, get some sort of advantage back. Mighty Max is dancing in and out of the doorway. So far, no frags coming through until Heavy God fills the feed with one. Now it's all on to Mighty Max. He's just trying to find the head, and that's a well-timed jiggle. Scenario now in the 1v1. He's actually bailing. There's not enough time. Mighty Max has done it.
Yeah, that was really smart from Mighty Max, because he knows he's defused, and he just waits that extra second.
Knowing when to take those aggressive moves, but 5, not going to be enough on the T side, for sure. And well, Synopsy taking down 3 in mid. Well, I don't think a 6 is coming anytime soon.
That second kill, he was not aiming at that player at all. That was completely unintentional. But Synopsy will take it all day long. That's Endpoint just trying to apply a little bit of acceleration, a little bit of venom in towards middle. And they get completely shut down by just one player who's basically fully blind during the entire altercation. Mestal now looking to lurk in towards A. Needs to potentially wait for MHL. Quite a long journey over towards the bomb site. Definitely spotted Scenari. That's going to force the smoke out. 2 on 5. It feels pretty improbable, but Mestal holding the angle. Regon walks straight into the guillotine. That's a good start.
That could have been it, though. That needed to be it, because Scenario swings out and finds Mestal. And they're going to immediately hit onto the A site. Utility raining on over. That flank is going to be fast, but it is being held for. GXX is going to be a pain up towards Rugs, but well, he's about to find pain on the other end as Mestal swings around, but they can't find this frag, and GXX is actually doubled up. What? Unbelievable. Unfortunately, his teammates have fallen on the side, but he's done enough. He's found all players on that flank. There's still 2 here. They get on the defuse, and GXX has such little HP. It has to be the ace. Clutch here looking for it. Gets them off the bomb, but can't quite hit the headshot. Fighting in towards mid. Rickon takes contact, and there are a lot of players in towards the connector here. One Fletcher finds that out the hard way. Rickon tries to get involved, and he's only good for the 1. Now, a lot of damage was done onto Mighty Max, but it is 2 AKs that can be recovered. So 3v3 again. Synopsy, the hero of the prior round, looking to get involved over towards B. Spotted on that jump, but doesn't deter him from walking on forward, and he forces his way in on that fight. That bomb can now make its way over, and Scenari's spider senses a tingling. He might have spotted Mighty Max for a moment there, or perhaps there was a sound cue from Synopsy that brought him back, but it's enough to lock in the round.
Yeah, that's awesome. Just holding. Bomb gets thrown across as well. Well, MHL's got information about 2 of these players. Synopsy is quite low. He knows the Scenari was in that corner, but can't win out the head-to-head gunfight.
Hit onto B, straight out the gates in B&E. 5 players here ready for it, but there are 3 defenders on the site. Smokes come on over. Mighty Max is ready, and Rigon is not ready for someone so close. Real swings, and MHL from the back lines finds a double. One Fletcher did find 1 kill in the mix. That's the only kill so far going towards the T's. 2v4 now. We've seen Endpoint lose a few of these advantage situations. Distribution of the utility, flames out, smoke as well. Synopsy starts to edge on forward, aware of a player in dark. Mighty Max not revealing himself yet, but on those jiggles, oh, that timing is so unfortunate. Synopsy wanted to throw some util down there, punished for it. So for GXX, this round, nigh on impossible.
Yeah, not happening. Good shot onto Mestal. Actually upgrades to the AK, but he's locked in here. MHL will have him dead to rights. And
P9.
I've got the AWP at the very least, so MHL needs to go big. Because Mighty Max hasn't. It's a real trade. MHL passes the first hurdle, but there's more obstacles to come. Drops a smoke and backs on over. For B&E, with their 3 remaining players, they want to run it straight into this bomb site. They need to get past MHL, and they might accommodate that with a boost.
Full boost, but falls off the box.
That hurt?
Surely. Oh, okay, well, you fumbled it twice now. MHL gets picked from the other side while this boost shenanigans were going on, and a deeper smoke to allow One Fletcher to run on through. MHL fires off a shot, and that's given space for One Fletcher, but it's space that's quickly plugged by MHL, who's stepping up here after that flubbed molly in the fire round, has found every kill here on the site. The real comes through at the end. And getting aggressive in mid, but Mestal able to catch him as he pushes through the smoke. Gives away his life early. Obviously looking to find one on the fade, but the flames land at his feet and he can't quite find the face. Now they know that pressure is on. Rickon also sitting at a smoke. B&E just playing around the utility dispensed by Endpoint, and look at the space they're taking. Rickon's walking all the way through onto the site, just forcing his way in. Defensive smoke to allow Mighty Max to stay alive, and Mestal spotted out one towards jail. Something just walked on through. Oh, that's so messy. I think maybe the smoke was in his face. He's able to stay alive and win that one out. GXX falls in Scenario with such little HP, just can't quite hold on. And Mestal jiggles out, does spot the one. Synopsy is very close, and he's just going to run on past. Continue to put the pressure on. Mestal repositions. That smoke is so well timed. That's going to give him such a good fight. Takes down 3. While Rigon might find the one kill onto the site, it's again one of these 2-on-4 scenarios for B&E to fight their way out of.
And they've got no utility. There's plenty of kits available, 3 of them in fact. So Rigon wants to go hunting towards CT, but even if you get past Cyril, you still got Max on the other corner, but that isn't even a factor. Scenario versus the world. And suddenly, things get a little bit more difficult. There's only one outcome. It's an endpoint defuse and an endpoint map win. It takes the full 30, but they managed to get it over the line.
These two packs potentially going to meet each other, or at least the information is there. B&E are just going to be trickling into a site that's completely free, but what a shot from MHL. He's looking for more, pushing on forward. GXX has to tuck on through, and Mestel's found another.
Yeah, this is really dangerous. GXX just holding his nerve in towards Cave. Could go toe-to-toe with MHL, but if they swing this together, potentially, the USPs could do a little bit of damage. However, Scenario and Juan Flatro trying to stand their ground, but that is until Cyril delivers 2 critical headshots. And Endpoint start off like strong on the CT side.
Yes. No presence yet outside of the smoke that's been deployed, so Endpoint are quite certain where this hit's coming through. Rigon, not able to find that kill. Pretty much needed to, because now the pistols have to try and get it done. That flashbang is great though. It allows the Nary to come on through for the kill, but MHL long range with the A1S makes quick work of the remaining players. One flat throw, the only one that's left, and well, maybe he's the only one they need, because that is absolute insanity.
Rely on your crossfires a little bit more, because ultimately the 1 versus 1s are your undoing. MHL on the boost will find Scenario. That's a great opener for GXX. Fully advanced in. Flashbang is the perfect supportive element. 5 on 2. This round crumbles underneath B&E.
Rigon's been spotted as well by MHL on that cross. Doing everything now for Endpoint. Mighty Max steals to Rigon. Snopsy's got that bomb on his back, and he's hightailing it. And
but you're right. The biggest consideration there is the bomb. Weren't ready for him to be so far up, and he denies and honestly single-handedly wins the round. Aggression coming in, but Rigon denies. And that's really important. MHL now put on notice bomb, yet to commit. And Rigon's already out through this smoke, but MHL will trade.
Yeah, good shot on back. Rigon have done so much work, though, with that double kill. Endpoint now taking aggression, and it's ill-timed. So, here, GXX does hear the sound cue, but Mestel's able to hit the shot. Still the advantage for B&E, but they have to retrieve this bomb, and Mestel has slipped on through towards the spawn. MHL loses out to Synopsy now, so it leaves it all on to the young Israeli to get it done. Good shot, and a great follow-up on the one Flatro. He might just be doing it all here for Endpoint. A 1v1 now ensuring Synopsy known as he came through that mid-flank, so Mestel repositions. Allows that bomb to be retrieved as he skirts in towards the cave. Trying to catch him off, but Synopsy is aware of this, and he actually starts to push up towards lane. Doesn't matter which way he goes. If he goes through towards cave now, Mestel was caught between 2 angles, but he decides to reposition to hold the line, and Mestel does everything. 4 in the round, and 7 for Endpoint at the half.
His time's coming.
They've got a good setup here, though, for B&E. 3 players here. If you're Endpoint, you're not ready for this entire split, but okay. Cyril takes down his teammate. That is unfortunate. Another smoke blooms in their face. But MHL continues to walk on forward. The second player, unexpected, but one Flatcho's shot is perfect. Heavy God needed to hit that one with the P250, but he can't do it. That's one.
It is, and that means that there's a gap in towards Donut right now. At least Synopsy's rotated back over, but Mestel with the immediate trade. MHL will finally fall, and now the MP9 starts to just ring out. Calamity, but Rigon still on this site. They need to get past him. Heavy God will answer the call, and unfortunately,
It does look like they want to get up close, but no, it's in towards the cave. Snary going fast very quickly. That flashbang over the top, and he just swings on through. Mows Cyril down, who had no support anywhere.
yet again, it's just classic B&E. Using the SMGs was the tip of the spear lane, and they've got it in abundance. However, Heavy God says thank you very much. One flat throw, that's a freebie. Served up. GXX now goes searching towards A, and he can run into a spot of bother here. There's a close peek that could present itself, and MHL was supporting with the AWP, but has now rotated away. And does deal with Synopsy. Low HP with Regon in towards Donut. BNE flustered, having to retreat back. And this entire time, Endpoint, they don't even need to commit in towards the A bomb site. They can go B, and that's exactly where they're headed.
Yeah, great recovery after losing that initial fight in towards lane. They're able to fight back in mid. Snary drops the flames and wins out the first fight, but overwhelmed by Heavy God. And oh my god, what an adjustment. Rickon looked like he should have had him dead to rights there. He was so low HP, but Heavy God reigns through terror. GXX now has to clutch it out. That's the first kill. Heavy God's low, and GXX knows it. Swaps the P250, hits the shot. A 1v1 now between the two AWPers, and GXX holds true. A 1 versus 3 is fantastic from the AWPer for BNE. Yeah, on a whole nother level at the moment. And again, a fight in towards mid. Smokes deployed on both sides to get in here. Trying to find any sort of face to put a bullet into. And Synopsy, well, he's able to find Mestel. Takes him down. Heavy God gets the one back though, so still even steading here. And one Flatro is so incredibly low from the damage being done here, but gone for a bit of a bait and switch setup. One Flatro trying to bait out his fallback with the shots fired off and the loud footsteps on that reload.
Importantly backs up there as well, because there was a timing window for MHL. Denari with one more trade, 3-on-3. Still feels pretty favorable for Endpoint. That bomb, whilst it is isolated, is being very patient and disciplined. Trying to see if BNE are going to go for any of these information plays that Endpoint were making in this first half. So far, nothing doing. It's just the AWPer GXX trying to maintain and lock down the entirety of this A bomb site. But as he moves away to check A main, that's where Endpoint start to make their ascent up towards mid.
It comes down to the timing, whether GXX can catch a player here, and oh my god, just on the other side you can see the silhouettes, and there's the shot. Adjust for the second as well, and he's done his job. 2-4, and it leads it all onto MHL to keep Endpoint in this map. So he has to find these kills quickly. Oh, the knife out at the worst possible time. Rigon catches him, and BNE
of this best of 3 begins right now.
Oh, and it's a fast opener for Rigon. Mighty Max only good for the 1 in response. Rigon continuing to push on forward, and I see ready for this player in sandbags. Might not even matter. Rigon's found a 3-piece, and the rest of the Ts are on towards the B bomb site already. MHL Mestel will have to play retake into this one as the bomb is planted.
Look at Juan Flatro in middle, but he's also got support. MHL does find him, but there's that support network. Mestal with 1 understands that, hey, well, Synopsy was in mid. I can just try and stick this bomb. In actual fact, wants to try and take the fight. Synopsy maybe not realizing that Mestel doesn't have a defuse kit off the bomb based off the audio. Wasting so much time now with Synopsy, but he's worried that Mestel will stick in the entire time. Instantly. All of the wood paneling. Regon spots out the boost, and suddenly we're met with echoes of bullets just ricocheting across the metal. Flashbang. Oh, well, it looks to be pretty good, but in actual fact, all the kills come in favor of BNE, and Heavy God is left scratching his head thinking, well, that didn't quite work out.
Mighty Max is undeterred though, and maybe should be deterred because there are a lot of Ts over here. Surreal stepped in, trying to help him out, and Mighty Max only good for the 1. Rigon deals with Surreal before he can swing out and find some more, and what looked for a moment like a good setup for Endpoint falls flat. MHL now feels like he has to step up and take some aggression, take a fight, but it's Rigon that wins it out. Mestel is here as well. So many bodies for Endpoint on the site, but each one falling in tandem. Scenario gets another and a second off the ramp around those smokes. Walking on down now, Rigon spots him out, but can't find the kill. And Heavy God has managed to come out ahead with that M4. Gets a second as well. They've walked straight into the strongest rifle, and they just fall 1 by 1. And to continue to force the issue as well, despite the bodies of the Eagles littering the stairs. Boost up for Rigon to get him in closer. Smoke actually giving a bit of space for Heavy God to stay alive here. More utility now coming on over, but the rotations are here. They can afford them. Desert Eagles come to support Heavy God with that M4. Rigon walking forward. Taps him out of the server. Rigon sharp as you like it. Start to take the space. More utility running on through. These threats are going to fade soon. That's a good ding onto Rigon. He's brought down low, but doesn't stop him swinging out for another. Synopsy chimes on in, and GXX's AWP swings on through. Mighty Max now has to do it all. AWP is low, but Synopsy's bullet connects.
It's the hand of BNE to now get a little bit creative towards B, but you've got Heavy God tucked in, playing a bait and switch with Mestal, and the boost has even been spotted from the flashbangs. Oh, they're absolutely fantastic. For Heavy God, maybe it's his spray that's that little bit better. Surreal hits the deck, and Heavy God's position is entirely known by BNE.
Yeah, he's up in the clouds though, and well, like the God of Thunder, he's able to stay alive and stay booming in the server. GXX left alone in the clutch, and Heavy God has found the timing to push on forward as well. Might even find the third in the round, and indeed he does. What a fantastic
MP9s, the pistols trying to provide the heroics, and they so nearly did. This time it's a different story. Entry falls favor towards the T side. Now looking to get aggressive, but Surreal will only find one, but it's MHL on the follow-up. But BNE are being so aggressive, so fast in the moves that they're making. Has Heavy God found the bomb?
This now gets a little weird, but the bomb is retrievable, and I think GXX is fully aware of this. Flames to flush Heavy God out, but he is just going to sit behind the box. GXX is actually going to pull out the P250. Surprised he's the one that's in charge of recovering this. You don't send the rifler, but no, there was support there, and BNE drag it back to win out the half 8-7 with the pistoles. Nopsy wants to get information, and he fires the scalp of Heavy God. Crown falls from his head, and look at the space that BNE are taking. The aggression already on display on this CT side. Now, it does mean they're going to be a little passive over towards A itself, and Scenario spots a few sneaky Ts making their way up towards the site. Smoke comes through towards the elevator, and there's a big gap in it, so GXX can throw a few bullets through, a bit of information as well. Rigon finds Surreal, and now the flank starts to come on through. Nice shot from one Flacho, and everybody is falling now. Leaves it onto the shoulders of MHL, who's found one, but that bomb is being defused. Running out of bullets and running out of a head. GXX takes him down, and BNE get the pistol. Point do start to establish some ramp control, but BNE is sticking around. They've got a player committed in towards the sandbag, and that's Synopsy who swings out to go down, but Rigon there with the trade gets that second in the chaos before he falls. A big step up to find those two, keeps it even now for BNE. And look at the reinforcements. Everyone is here. One Flatro almost blocked and not ready for the second player was Mestal. Now with that information, you know that at most there can only be one here. They start to make their way through, going fast. Can be planted. A smoke goes on down now towards CT, blocking off that line of sight for the AWP. Nary, tickled by the flames, has to slow down a little bit now. They do have kids in play. They've got smokes. It's the default plant. Surreal still sticking around. His teammate in Heavy God playing the stairs itself. They're not facing at the moment. That AWP comes on through. And Surreal, if he catches the timing here, could deal with GXX. That smoke goes on through. GXX is holding on the position, but misses his shot. Heavy God finds his mark as well. And Endpoint finally find their first T round.
That's right.
They're still looking on forward, but the AWP from GXX is here. He peers around the corner, hits the shot onto Mestal, catches him through the edge of the box as he's falling on back. Max, though, a very sharp shot onto Synopsy, keeps it even. Rigon now getting spammed through under pressure. Drops the flames and has the support of one Flatcher to keep him alive. Allows him now to stay and fight with Scenari. One Flatcher still here to support over. Looking from this angle, the headshot, but it's Heavy God's headshot that comes on through, followed up by MHL's. Rigon gets one back, but he's so down low. GXX now has to do it all. The 1v1 now presented. A spray on through, but it's GXX.
Scenari holding the line, ready to try and receive this execute that is coming in right now.
Flames at the top, flashbang as well. Smoke comes through to allow Scenari to continue fighting here. Damage being done, but Scenari falls, trying to find a gap in that smoke, and instead he meets his demise. Synopsy gets one back, keeping it even here in the spam, though. How does that connect onto Synopsy? He was nowhere near him on the X-ray, but it doesn't seem to matter. Rigon had to win that fight. Now it feels like 14 secured for Endpoint. Unless one Flatro can do it all. HE over the top does a lot of damage on the Heavy God, but the order of the grenades does not work out. The bomb gets planted. The flames don't do really anything. But one Flatro is still fighting. MHL's head found and 2 players incredibly low. GXX is on a late flank with the AWP.
No.
He's in save mode already, so it's all on to whether one Fletcher can get anything done, but not being presented these kills. Endpoint aren't going to peak with such little HP, so they are going to take...
What a story that could potentially be. Mezto, catches off Synopsy, and that's a great start. Look at this, led with utility, but the aggression over the top, the flashbang is sublime. Endpoint, they're doing it. One Flatro trying to prevent things, but Heavy God trades him immediately. 4 versus 2, and GXX caught out on an island. This is the beginning of the end, and in fact, it's over already. Endpoint put a full stop on things on Vertigo and eliminate Bad News Eagles.